next 5 months, Subaru and Rem continued their lives a solitude filled with love and affection. These past months were the final touches they needed to be an official couple, one that didn't just shoot the occasional flirt. While they never showed too much kissy face out in public, Subaru and Rem kissed each other any moment they had in the house. When they first started kissing, they did start in public. However, they quickly realized that such a thing should only be reserved for home. Their first clue of this was when Subaru couldn't stop kissing the blue-haired ex-maid while at his favorite restaurant. "Out with you, shoo! Your love is infecting my cookie and making my custards uncomfortable," Oki made sure to tell them off, when he noticed customers refusing to sit next to the gooey couple. This resulted in less business, which was essential for survival. So basically, Subaru and Rem's kissing was killing him. "Why don't you make out near the fountain so I can push you in?" Oki's last comment was followed by a few laughs from the other people around. Blushing madly, Subaru and Rem got their plates and moved for the fountain. Subaru looked back to give Oki an apologetic wave, but was met with Oki, who had a solid smile on his face. Oki raised a hand up to give Subaru a thumbs up and a wink. Subaru took this as, "Good job, kid. She's a keeper. Don't lose her, idiot." The other times they realized their kissing was uncomfortable to others was noticed by Subaru and Rem together. Stopping before things got out of hand caused them to learn that they should only show affection at home. A few kisses in public wouldn't hurt, but nothing too deep. During this time, Subaru grew used to waking up every morning to Rem's beautiful face. It was a sight he never wanted to forget, something he wanted to keep on him forever. Subaru reached behind him to pick up his media from the counter. During his stay in this world, Subaru's flip phone ultimately ran out of juice, so he was no longer able to take pictures of all the things Rem and him would do together. Subaru then bought 2 Medias, one for him and one for Rem. The Medias acted like a normal phone from Subaru's world, which would make sense since the inventor of the Media, Okabe Hoshin, came from Japan. The Media allowed its user to call someone and take pictures. That was really all about it. The only way to call someone, however, was to link them together at some point. To do this, one would open their Media and click a button that said Connect via Link. The Media would scan the area and come up with a list of others whose Medias were also scanning. All they had to do was click the various options on the list of people to add to their contact list, and then they were able to call that person wherever, whenever. Subaru thought it had a great system put to it, but still failed to know exactly how these people were able to use linking signals if they'd never been to space or sent anything up there to connect the Medias across the world. Ignoring this fact, Subaru opened his Media and snapped a picture of the sleeping Rem across from him. However, Subaru forgot to turn off the sound of the Media, and in a sharp click, that was a sound made when the picture was taken. Rem woke up. Rubbing the sleep out of her eyes, she looked at Subaru, who seemed shaken up. "What's wrong, Subaru? Is everything alright?" "Yeah, I was just taking a picture of Rem's adorable face and accidentally woke you up." Rem let her head fall back into the pillow. When she speaks, it's directed into the pillow, muffling her speech. I didn't quite catch that, Rem." Lifting her head back up, Rem repeated herself. "What time is it?" Looking back at the counter, Subaru glanced at a baseball-sized crystal on a pedestal that was shining a green color, but then alternated to red for only a short amount of time before turning green again. The crystal repeated this rhythm of a long green light and a short red light. 7 fire time. That's 7 a.m. for those who don't know the passage of time in ReZero. "Time to get up, Rem." Rem was used to waking up at earlier hours when she worked at the mansion. So, waking up at 7 fire time every weekday was no biggie. Getting up was no problem. The hard part was resisting Subaru. Glancing at Subaru every morning when he was changing became a big part of her routine. It was a problem that she failed to see. Rem even had a step process of her mornings. Get up, look at Subaru. Take off pajamas, look at Subaru. Put on skirt, look at Subaru. Put on shirt, look at Subaru, and fix hair. After they moved into Karagi, Rem had to get used to the idea of that wearing other clothes besides her usual maid outfit. She discovered that she enjoyed wearing a shirt and a long skirt. They were just comfortable to her. After changing, Rem would always approach Subaru and give him a kiss. Subaru would return the kiss, always pulling her into his warm embrace. Subaru loved Rem, and he wanted to make sure Rem knew that. That's why today was a special day for the both of them, but Rem didn't know that. Today was Valentine's Day. Subaru was determined to make things the best night Rem has ever had. After breakfast and a longer than usual goodbye makeout session, Rem and Subaru went their separate ways to work. Subaru wanted tonight to be special for Rem. His plans consisted of him spoiling Rem with flowers and chocolates, taking her out into town to go to that one fancy restaurant all the way across town, and then finish the night off with another special gift. He still needed to buy the flowers, chocolate, and the gift though. Rem would be home at 6 p.m. Subaru normally wouldn't be home by 7 p.m., but this time was different. Subaru needed to leave work early so he could purchase his gifts at a time that would get him home early enough so that Rem didn't start dinner. If Subaru could cook, he would make Rem a romantic candlelit dinner. However, the fact was Subaru couldn't cook if his life depended on it, so he was relying on a restaurant's cooking to win her heart. Subaru was able to get another coworker to cover his last 2 hours. Among his coworkers, Subaru was easily the most appreciated. He worked hard, did what he was told, and was nice to all his fellow workers, so naturally they all returned the feeling of gratitude. After work, Subaru went to the nearest florist and bought a dozen roses. A mix of red and pink which Subaru knew represented love. Making his way home, Subaru went to the candy store that was on the way. Luckily for him, this world still made heart-shaped boxes of chocolate. He didn't think about it before, but this world had no reason to have such a thing since Valentine's Day didn't exist here. Subaru put it off as it being something that people here got for their partners every so often. Coming to his last stop, Subaru stepped inside a jeweler's. Walking up to the counter, Subaru got the only worker's attention there. Subaru met him before to discuss his gift to Rem. "Don't worry, Mr. Natsuki, I've got your requested item right here." The short man opened up the display case and pulled out a necklace. The necklace was perfect. The chain was thin and golden. The centerpiece was a golden heart that was rounded on its front and back. The front had a silver plating that was small enough to show some gold to form a border. Engraved in the painting were the words, "To my fanatical little demon. Every day I live is the day I want to be with you. Love, Subaru." Subaru paid the required amount for the necklace and brought it home in a small box. Upon entering the front door, Subaru hid the gifts behind his back for now, since Rem was on her way from the kitchen. Rem came into view seconds later with a smile on her face. She was wearing a pink apron that read "Kiss the Cook," and boy did he want to kiss the cook. "Welcome home, Subaru. You're here early. That makes me happy." Subaru couldn't hold back and kiss Rem. "I'm happy to see you too. One question, have you started dinner?" Subaru was hoping she didn't. Please say no, this will be much easier if you say no." "No? Oh, thank God." Rem gave him a quizzical look. Why does Subaru not want Rem to cook? "Because, Rem." Subaru puffed out his chest and said in a deep voice, "I'm handling dinner tonight." "But you cannot cook at all." Subaru unpuffed his chest and looked at Rem's smile and pouted. "I know that. That's why I'm taking you out tonight. Today is Valentine's Day." Subaru brought his hands forward showing the chocolates and flowers, but leaving the box in his pocket for now. Rem was visually happy and excited to see the gifts, but she later raised an eyebrow. "Valentine's Day? What is that?" "It's a day where, from where I come from, couples would celebrate their relationship together. Traditionally, it's the male that buys the flowers and chocolates, while the female is usually the one that showers her lover in kisses. The couple would usually go out and have a romantic dinner." Well, so far, Rem is enjoying it. Rem proved her point by kissing Subaru on the cheek. The rest of the night was fantastic. They arrived at the restaurant and had a fantastic meal. For a short period, Subaru and Rem forgot about their kissing role and they joined each other at the restaurant. It wasn't until a waitress came and asked about dessert that they stopped. After dinner and dessert, they both went back home. It was there that Subaru unleashed his final gift. "It's beautiful." Rem gazed at the necklace and pulled it out. Holding up the heart, Rem read what was engraved on it. "So you like it?" "Duh, you idiot, of course she likes it." Rem's eyes started to get watery. In no time, tears fell down her cheek. She held the necklace to her heart, hugging it tightly. Rem doesn't deserve Subaru. Rem doesn't deserve to be this happy. Subaru refused to see Rem in this state and wanted to make her happy again. Subaru cupped her cheeks with his hands and used his thumbs to wipe her tears. "No, Rem, I'm the one that doesn't deserve you. You're too good for me. I feel that I must push myself to my limits in order to be worthy of your love. When I got the hint that you liked me months ago, I thought you were crazy. I still think you're crazy to be with a guy like me. Moving with me to Karagi, staying by my side wherever I went, bringing me back to my senses whenever I felt alone. All that is you. If you didn't move with me here, I don't know what I would have done. You're the reason I'm alive, and I'm willing to live life to its fullest because I know you'll be in it. I can't guarantee you'll love me forever, but I can guarantee that I'll never stop loving you, Rem." Subaru kissed Rem, one he filled with love. "Subaru." Rem reached up and took Subaru's hands into hers. She cocked her head slightly and smiled. Rem is the happiest girl in the world. Afterwards, Rem and Subaru took showers and prepared for bed. Subaru was shaving what little stubble he had on when he saw Rem in the mirror leave the room. Looking at the crystal, he saw that it was a solid yellow color. 10 p.m. Better head to bed soon. I should get Rem. Subaru went to get Rem, who was at the kitchen table, her elbow on the table and chin rested in her hand. She was playing with the petals of the roses, not noticing when Subaru came up behind her. Ready for bed, Rem? Subaru noticed Rem had a sad look on her face. Did he do something wrong? He gripped the back of the chair Rem was sitting in. In his head, Subaru thought, Rem doesn't look happy. What did I do wrong? Think, man. I suck at this. I did this speech and everything. Maybe it's not me. Better check. What's wrong, Rem? Did I say something bad? No, Subaru. It's perfect. It's just that these roses remind me of Big Sister. Subaru froze. No. They were her favorite flower. No. I haven't seen her in 8 months, and now I want to see her again. Please not now. Rem never said goodbye. Why now? I know it's a lot to ask of you, Subaru, but I want to see Big Sister. No! Sure. What else was he to say? No? If he said no, Rem would wonder why. If he tried to prevent her from leaving by herself, she would find a way to go back to the mansion with or without him. Subaru's only option was to agree. To keep her happy and unsuspected as long as possible was his priority. Subaru knew this day would come, he just wasn't all that prepared for it. No matter what would happen, he was sure Rem would leave him. He never should have lied to Rem, putting thoughts into her head that everything was alright when in reality Subaru's world was crashing down, and Rem's was hanging by a thread. But she didn't know that. Subaru was the best. Rem turned around in her chair and pulled Subaru into a kiss. I love you, Subaru. Subaru wondered if that was the last time he would ever hear those words.